Hey guys, it's Nikki with FM 99. I'm here with Mark from Dirty Honey. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. As we just said, the weather's nice, and yeah, I'm looking forward actually to getting out of this nice weather and going to Colorado on Saturday to start tour. So
Now, is this going to be your first time out on the road?
since like
Like since
COVID,
since COVID?
no, we did a headline tour in June of last year, and then we were out all summer with the Black Crows opening up for them. So yeah, we've had some. It's been like 4 months went by like that though. We've been off since like October.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
you had
so
a
I'm
little
pretty
vacation.
pretty anxious, yeah, to get back at it. So
Yeah, starting to get that itch.
yeah, definitely. I've had it for a while. We postponed everything for about a month, so we were already supposed to be on the road for like the last 4 weeks, and it is what it is. We're anxious though.
Hey, look, but we're doing it, right? Like we're getting out there, we're back
We're
in front of each
definitely doing
other.
it. Yeah, it feels right. I mean, things are starting to tamper down a little bit with COVID, and it just feels like a more appropriate time now. So yeah, everything's optimistic and feeling good.
Yeah, I'm with you. Now, the last time you and I talked, it was earlier in the whole pandemic. The world was
Yeah.
shut down, and we were talking about your album and how a couple days before you were supposed to fly to Australia to put together your album, and then the world shut down.
Still can't go to Australia.
Right? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Australia's still locked
Crazy.
down, I think.
It's crazy. But
So,
yeah,
how
it
did
was
you guys manage to get the album done and released?
we went on Zoom just like this with our producer and cut a bunch of demos and finally got, some free studio time because oddly enough, all the studios were booked up with artists just being creative with the time they were afforded due to COVID. And we were lucky enough to get in for I think 9 days at Henson Studios here in LA, but we had a big monitor with our producer on it and he could talk to us and stuff in real time. And we had a great engineer at the sessions and, we got it done. It wasn't the most enjoyable way to do things. We all feed off the energy of one another. And it was
Yeah.
definitely weird not having him in the room, but it was the closest thing we could get. So we were obviously happy with how it came out. And, I'm not looking forward to doing it that way ever again, but we got it done and it's something we're really proud of. So
Yeah, it's crazy that we have the ability
it's
to
wild.
do that a world away, really.
Literally a world away. And I had my studio cans on and he's in my head talking to me in real time from like Byron Bay. It was crazy.
That
So
is crazy. Is there video of that? I think I'd like to see video
for
of that.
sure there yeah, there is. We documented the whole thing and it was easy enough with Zoom to just like record, his feed the whole time. And we did a little behind the scenes video about it, but it was wild. And honestly, like nobody wanted to do it that way, but the technology really blew everybody away.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I mean, that's who would have thought just a couple years ago that this would happen.
Not me. I didn't think it would happen like when we were doing it. I didn't think it would
Right.
work that well. So we're glad it worked out.
Yeah, well, we're glad it worked out too. Let's go back a little bit. When I'm Gone, um, it was the first single by an unsigned band to make it to number one on the Billboard Rock Chart. Huge, huge accomplishment.
Yeah,
What was that like?
it was just it was a whirlwind, honestly. Like nobody expected that to happen. I remember like even having conversations before the music got released, like, hey, is there anybody in LA that's even going to play this record? And they're like, no chance. There's no way. And then, 8 hours after it was released, like the biggest station in LA was playing it just by chance. They found it on their own, which was insane.
Right.
And it took everybody by surprise. And except for our manager, I will say he was the one immediately who was like, that's a number one rock song for sure.
Just
And
knew it.
he knew it. He really did know it. And I give him credit for it every day. But yeah, nobody expected that. And, we were certainly grateful for it. But at the same time, you're just like, you can't even believe, like, how is this happening? Nobody's ever heard of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was very strange, but it's just cool. You put so much work into it behind the scenes before anything, before you have any success, like all those years of struggling, kind of they just, it all comes together in one like flash, but it's not without a lot of hard work. So it's good to get the payoff.
Do you remember where you were the first time you heard yourself on the radio?
We were traveling. It was one of our first shows, on like a real tour with a band called Red Sun Rising, and we were in Missouri driving to, I think, Lawrence, Kansas. And I got a tweet from the station in LA. They were like, "We're playing your song. We're going to talk about it. Obviously, we love it. Like, call us if you can." And I just happened to be on Twitter at the moment, which I'm never on. And we had this great moment where I called in and they were like, "What the hell?" Like, "Who are you guys?"
Awesome.
It was really cool. It was really cool. It was a 1 in a million chance for it to work out that way. And then, yeah, I think I was in Denver when I really first like heard it organically on the radio, going to the airport and popped on, and I was like, "Wow, this is pretty cool."
Yeah, I can't even imagine. It must be so surreal, like you said, with all the hard work that you put in, and the way that it ended up getting played on the radio. And
Yeah, it was insane. And nobody, like, I remember all like our team, which is a very small team of people, they were all like doing other stuff when like all this was happening after the release. And I got a call like 3 hours after this crazy morning of people playing our music, and they were like, "What happened? Like, what is going on?" So yeah, that was a special day for sure. I'll remember that one forever.
oh my gosh, yeah, that's amazing. Now, are you guys still unsigned?
Yeah, we're still unsigned. I don't know how that's going to work, as we start to go like overseas and stuff.
Right.
I genuinely have no idea. But for now, we just love, not having people to answer to and doing it our own way. And it's been a really cool thing. And like, we just shot a music video for Another Last Time, and there's nobody, I mean, there's nobody that's like got their own initiatives, trying to make us like do stuff we're not uncomfortable with, which is really cool. And we talk to bands all the time, and there's not a single artist that's been like, "You've got to talk to my label. They're
Right.
so great. I love them." So you can talk to the Black Crowes about that one. They definitely they've had some experiences of their own that I'm sure they've been well documented that weren't so great. So we're going to avoid it as long as we can.
But I imagine they're beating down your door. They must be.
I'm pretty insulated personally from those conversations. The manager deals with all that stuff. So I'm sure I'm grateful to him for the phone calls that he takes that I don't have to. So
Yeah, absolutely. Fair enough. So we played quite a few of your songs. The lyrics, are any of them like personal? Are they all personal?
They're either drawn from like experience of my own or experiences from somebody that's close to me, or they're my own like fantasies. And sometimes, it's I can't think of one off the top of my head, but sometimes they don't make sense at all. Like, I love songs like that. The Beatles are famous for that. So,
yeah.
It can be any sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, if it moves you at the time.
Certainly When I'm Gone was definitely very, excuse me, personal. That one for sure was. So I'm sure you guys played that song, I would imagine.
Of course. Yes.
But yeah, that one was about my experience in LA, like being a homeless kid when I first moved here, and nobody like paying attention to you,
Yeah.
So
yeah, wow, that's going from that to well, why don't you play my song, Los Angeles?
yeah, it was kind of cool how that all came full circle that way, that story, how you're feeling like people in LA maybe aren't responding to you in a way that you might have expected, or aren't even giving you the time of day, and then to have the very same city, really give you your break is a special thing.
Yeah, and completely embrace you, really.
Yeah, without a doubt, for sure. So
Yeah. Now, we also play your Prince cover, Let's Go Crazy, which I have to tell
nice.
you does not sound like a cover. I mean, it is phenomenal. I love the song. Um, I love that you guys, when you did it for the National Hockey League, you were performing in Minneapolis, which of course is where Prince is from. How was
Yep.
that received?
I mean, I've heard nothing, but the thing that like makes me proud about it is people are, to your point, are just like, you really put your own spin on it. That's what you want to achieve anytime you do a cover. You don't just want to go out and do the same thing that the artist already did. You want to somehow make it your own. And we really didn't want to do it unless we could figure out a way to do that. And I think we did. We put a little more rock and roll into it. His version is obviously very poppy and it's amazing. I love it. But we wanted to make it more of our own sound, and I think we achieved that. And that was really the catalyst for everything moving forward. Is the music gonna fit? The way we want it to. And so I think we got there.
You did. It's funny the way that you just said that, because when we listened to it, it was like, wow, this is amazing. They gave it the Dirty Honey sound. So
good. That's what we were going for. So I appreciate you saying that for sure.
yeah, nailed it. So tell me, are there any covers that you would not do? Like if somebody came to you and they were like, we want you to do this cover, are there any you would just completely not touch?
I mean, yeah, I don't think I'm touching like a Taylor Swift song or anything like that. That one was interesting to me, actually, a little bit. I was looking at the lyrics and I was like, what the hell is he talking about? Like, we're going to search for the purple banana before. And John, my guitar player, was like, this is the most on you lyric I've ever heard. But for whatever reason, it works. I don't know. So I definitely looked at it and was like, am I really going to say that? I still don't know what he's talking about. I would love some insight onto that. But yeah, I mean, there's obviously a bunch of stuff I don't think I would touch personally. And, lyrical content for me is a big one. I don't really want to like talk about texting in a song. I don't think that's cool.
Yeah.
Just weird stuff like that.
Yeah, no, that's completely fair. So you guys are getting ready to hit the road on Saturday. You've got some regular shows. You've got some festivals, including ours, which we'll talk about in just a second.
Can't wait.
What is the difference in the vibe, like between the festivals and the regular shows? Is there one you like more than others? How different is it?
It totally depends. I mean, it's funny. Wolfgang and I have been talking about another radio festival we did up in Philly, which we were both like, that was like the best show of our summers. It was just insane. And honestly, like, yeah, we were pretty early last time. So I'm looking forward to this go around being much later on the bill, which will be awesome. But yeah, and as it relates to like the headlining shows, I guess it's always different. You never know what you're going to get. I usually find on a Friday or Saturday night, you're walking out to an audience that's a little drunk and ready to have a really good time. And that's fun. It just depends on the city, really, how it's going to go. If they know you well or not. Like, we can go through Chicago, Detroit, Kansas City, Denver, LA, obviously. Those just strike me as places we've been to where we were really embraced as an opener and then went back to as a headliner, and the shows were bananas.
Yeah. Purple bananas.
Hopefully not purple bananas. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back with you guys and seeing what the sophomoric appearance brings this time. So
yeah,
it'll be great.
The first time I saw you guys live was at Lunatic Luau 19, and it's, for us, we're kind of all over the place on those days. Oh, look at that, there you are.
Yeah, it's a good hat. That's a good hat day.
Love it. I love the hat. Jamming it out.
That was hot. I remember, I think I took my shirt off. One of the rare times I do that at that show because it was so hot.
It was insanely hot that day. Yeah.
And
so for all the ladies,
my brother doesn't live too far away, so he was like, what are you doing to me here,
Yeah. So for all the ladies who are hoping you take your shirt off this time, don't get your hopes up, is what you're saying?
I mean, you know what? We'll be later in the night. Maybe it'll be cooled down a little bit, but who knows? You never know. If I have enough tequila that day, I might start shedding some layers.
I love it. Who do you still want to tour with? Let's talk about that for a second.
I mean, the big ones, the obvious ones for me would be Aerosmith and AC/DC. Opening up for the Rolling Stones would be cool. I thought that was going to happen last year, but it didn't. So that's still on the bucket list. But honestly, I'm really excited to go out with Wolfgang. I think cultivating a new rock audience is important. And, we see it at festivals all the time, like Metallica and Guns N' Roses and AC/DC. Like, I love those bands as much as I love any artist, but they can't keep headlining the same festivals every year. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you're starting to see some new stuff come in, like Rage Against the Machine, and other artists have obviously had more success and are getting up to that headline spot. But it's, for me right now, I think the important thing is cultivating this younger generation of rock fans and making sure it doesn't die, because I'm very much for it not dying, and I don't think it has.
Yeah, very much so. Do you feel like the
So,
temperature's changing a little bit in rock music?
yeah, I'm a big guitar. I'm not a great guitar player, but I love guitars. And anytime we're in a city, I go to the music store and I try and find some rare guitars. And if there's something that interests me, I'm not shy about checking it out and buying it. But I did a lot of traveling during COVID, and I was going to guitar stores all over the world, Milan, Rome, like Spain, everywhere in America, and they're out. There's no guitars to be found, and I'm seeing it every day on social media. All these kids are playing guitar and playing our songs and playing Wolfgang songs and Bad Flower and a lot of artists. And I'm like, wow, it's really cool that a lot of kids took up an instrument during COVID and really learned how to play. And it's kind of killing me that there's no inventory in any of these places. Right. It's one of my favorite things to do when I'm on the road. But yeah, it's really cool to see. And that's one of the great things about being a musician, is when you inspire somebody to pick up an instrument. That's really great. So
yeah, absolutely.
I love seeing that on the internet.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting to see what they do with that now that
we were all that little kid in our room. I mean, I'm still that kid in the room, playing as loud as I can to AC/DC or whatever. And when you're a part of somebody's journey like that, it's inspiring, for both people, for me and whoever's playing the music, to, keep pushing the envelope.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. So we're super excited for you to be here. One thing I do have to know, do you have any pre-show rituals?
I definitely do. The important one is warming up. That's important. But I always drink tequila. I try not to eat a lot of food. That I like to run around a lot, and so does Justin and John, and we try and go pretty insane. So yeah, you don't want to be bogged down too much. But yeah, we always have tequila ready right before we walk on stage, and there's usually some music that I like to listen to, whether it's Joe Cocker or AC/DC, right before we go out. Just get you in the mood, to have a good time.
Absolutely. Get you fired
Tequila
up.
And Joe Cocker just seem to go really well together.
Well, now I know where to hang out while I'm waiting for you guys to go on, wherever the tequila is.
If you're a tequila drinker, you can swing by. We will definitely have you sorted out.
Excellent. That would be amazing. So Lunatic Luau, May 20th is the date. It's a Friday. Tickets are on sale now. Really, really excited.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing the Pretty Reckless is on right after us, I believe. I'm looking forward to seeing that for the first time. Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, I got to talk to Taylor Momsen a couple times over the last few months, and I'm excited to see them there as well. It's been a minute since they've been here.
It's been a minute since they've been out at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited to see them play, and that'll be my first time catching them. And obviously, I'm sure there's a bunch of younger artists we can check out, for the first time. And yeah, I can't wait. It's gonna be good. We'll be bringing our A game for sure. So we'll be fresh off our own tour, and we'll be a well-oiled machine by then. So it'll be a good time.
That's awesome. Well, I cannot wait to see you guys. I can't wait to see you play again live. It'll be 3 years at this point since I've seen you play live.
That's crazy. Did you guys do one last year, or was it?
We did not. No,
Yeah,
it's
okay.
we haven't done one the last 2 years.
Wow, okay. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
all
so
of
you're coming back to
all of
our
Virginia Beach will be really ready to cut loose, and we'll just invite the whole. I'll bring a couple extra bottles of tequila for the audience too. That is a guarantee from my end. We'll get everybody nice
fantastic.
and looped up.
That's awesome. I will absolutely come find you before the show.
Please do.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you so, so much for hanging out and talking to me this afternoon. Again, Lunatic Luau, May 20th. Super excited to see you guys. Tickets are on sale, and have a good tour until you get here in May.
I'm sure we'll talk before then, but yeah, good talking to you guys too. We can't wait.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Mark.
Good seeing you.
You too.